Hello and welcome to Chaotic Chintan, our attempt at understanding the chaos around us. We are back with another episode where we're going to deep dive into the world of the billionaires shaping our planet. Today we're comparing George Soros and Elon Musk, the financial wizard versus the tech sorcerer. It's like pitting Gandalf against Tony Stark, just with more tweets and fewer orcs. Let's start with George Soros, the man who can make or break whole economies even before his morning coffee. Recently, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by the former US president, which, depending upon who you ask, is either a well deserved honor or the beginning of the apocalypse. On the other hand, we have Elon Musk, who wants to take us to Mars but can't even prevent his cars from spontaneously combusting. Since the 2024 US election, where Donald Trump has made a Grover Cleveland style comeback, Elon Musk has now taken on a new role as the head of the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE as he affectionately calls it. His mission? To cut $500 million in federal spending, starting with critical departments like USAID, the Department of Education, and anything else that's holding the country together. So buckle up as we explore how these two billionaires are shaping our world, one financial market and one tweet at a time. Few names in modern finance and philosophy spark as much intrigue, admiration, and skepticism as Mr. Soros. Born on August 12, 1930 in Hungary, he changed his name in 1936 to escape the rising tide of anti-Semitism in his homeland. As a teenager, he survived the Nazi occupation of Hungary by assuming a Christian identity, an early lesson in adaptability that would define his entire life. Soros pursued his education at the London School of Economics, earning degrees in philosophy. But it wasn't academia that made him famous, it was money. As a hedge fund manager, he built an empire. But in 1992, it was when he really cemented his place in history as the man who broke the Bank of England by betting against the British pound and making $1 billion overnight. A dedicated philanthropist, Soros has donated billions through his Open Society foundations, funding democracy, human rights, and education worldwide. To his supporters, he's a champion of freedom. To his critics, he's the shadow puppeteer of world leaders, the subject of countless conspiracy theories. To understand the enigma that is George Soros, we need to explore the financial empire he has created, but also the web of narratives that have formed around him over the decades. Our journey begins in 1969 when Soros established his first hedge fund, Double Eagle. Rumor has it that the name Double Eagle came from his golf game. But maybe it was just his way of telling the world that he planned to score big. This fund later evolved into the Quantum Fund in 1970. Soros began the Quantum Fund with an initial asset base of approximately 12 million, and this laid the foundation for his financial empire. The one hedge that you definitely wouldn't mind getting lost in. While building his hedge fund, Soros, by his own admission, was driven by a messianic syndrome that induced him to start scholarships, charity funds, and education centers to promote critical thinking. Soros believes that democracy is not a self-perpetuating system, but a fragile achievement that demands constant and deliberate investment. In his book titled Underwriting Democracy, he draws parallels between underwriting and insurance policy and funding democratic institutions, where he stresses that the maintenance of an open society comes at a tangible cost, one that involves both financial resources and sustained civic engagement. Soros advocates for a renewed commitment to reinforcing democratic norms. His work is as much a warning as it is a blueprint. He calls on individuals, philanthropic organizations, and governments to actively support and invest in institutions and practices that underpin a vibrant democracy. Then came the fateful day of September 16, 1992, Black Wednesday. On this day, Soros executed the most legendary financial move in recent history, short-selling nearly 10 billion of the British pound. He put the pound on a diet, and some say it practically turned it to an ounce. This single maneuver earned him approximately 1 billion in a day, and overnight the name of the man who broke the Bank of England. This event catapulted him into billionaire status and cemented his reputation as a financial mastermind. While Soros's wealth and influence grew, so did the narrative surrounding him. The first notable conspiracy theory emerged in the 1990s, particularly during the Asian financial crisis. Leaders such as the Malaysian Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad accused Soros of deliberately engineering financial turmoil for personal gain. Publications like the Executive Intelligence Review played a crucial role in spreading these accusations. Notably, these early conspiracy theories were often intertwined with anti Semitic undertones. Age old tropes depicting Jewish financiers as secret puppet masters resurface, casting Soros as a modern embodiment of these prejudices. By the early 2000s, Soros' net worth had surged to an estimated 8 to 9 billion, a peak moment in his financial journey before his philanthropic pursuits began to reshape his fortune. As the 2010s unfolded, the conspiracy theories involving George Soros expanded dramatically. He was accused of orchestrating major world events, from the Panama Papers leak to Brexit opposition efforts. Allegations also surfaced that he funded progressive movements, including the Women's March, anti-Kavanaugh protests, and various social justice campaigns. Conservative media figures, particularly on networks like Fox News, amplified these claims, further embedding Soros into political discourse.
The Women's March group counts Planned Parenthood and Natural Resources Defense Council as their premier partners. Both groups have actively opposed Kavanaugh since he was announced. Now, those groups take on significance because of their association with George Soros. According to an extensive study by the Media Research Center, 100 of the 544 Women's March partners have received a total of $246, am I reading this right? $1,637,217 from Soros at last count. That's chump change.
The idea that he controlled media outlets, fact-checking organizations, and even government institutions became a common narrative despite lacking any verifiable evidence. In recent years, conspiracy theories involving Soros have expanded to include events like the George Floyd protests and US legal controversies. Claims of his involvement have also extended internationally, tying him to political unrest in Central America, Brazil, and the Caucasus. Some Republican leaders have revived these theories to explain or critique ongoing political developments. Love him or loathe him, George Soros is a man who reshaped the financial world and perhaps the world itself.
Tonight we introduce Elon Musk, who actually doesn't need any introduction. Should we end the video? Probably not. Elon Musk, a billionaire meme lord extraordinaire, a cross between Peter Baelish and Dr. Doofenshmirtz. And by his own admission, he is the George Soros of the right wing. Is he incriminating himself? We'll talk about Elon Musk and discuss the 3 events that made him take the wrong turn to the right. Now, as far as job titles, pick your favorite. Self-proclaimed visionary, fiscal overlord, Twitter overlord, and let's not forget, head of Doge. Not just the meme coin, but also the Department of Government Efficiency. To some, he's a real-life Iron Man. But no matter where you stand, one thing is certain. Elon Musk is here to shake things up, for better or for memes. It all starts in Pretoria. Baby Elon arrives on the planet on 28 June 1979. Little does he know, one day he'll try to put everyone on Mars. His mother, Mae Musk, is a Canadian model and nutritionist, a combination of style and substance. And Dad Errol, an engineer, businessman, politician, and self-described natalist, who famously fathered 2 kids with his stepdaughter. Wait, what? Yes, holiday dinners must be awkward. At the age of 12, Elon coded Blastar, a game so primitive you can only interact with it using text. He eventually sold the code for $500 to a magazine. Around 17, Elon escapes from South Africa to avoid military service under apartheid. And where does he go? Canada. He probably went there for the sweet, sweet poutine. Not that poutine. In Canada, he couldn't settle for just one major. He had to do economics and physics. Plus, he famously hosted a massive house party with over 1,000 guests and charged each one of them. Later, he and his brother Kimball launched Zip2, where Elon wrote code so tangled it was hairballs. Despite the mess, Compaq Computer acquired Zip2 for $307 million, netting Elon $22 million. Fresh off that success, Elon realized he'd basically overstayed his visa. Zip2 investors gave him 45 days to straighten his visa out. Does that make him an illegal immigrant? With 12 million from Zip2, he launched X.com, an online bank with a cool domain name, which later merged with Confinity and formed PayPal. When eBay bought PayPal, Elon left with around $175 million, enough to buy a small island or perhaps some used ballistic missiles. Before SpaceX, Elon tried to buy ICBMs from Russia. The negotiations fizzled, so he decided to start his own rocket company instead, because obviously that's the logical step. Elon funneled 100 million of his fortune from PayPal into SpaceX at the age of 31. What were we doing when we were 31? Not content with conquering space, Elon hopped into electric cars. He joined Tesla, became chairman, and eventually CEO. You know that part. In 2008, Elon divorced Justine, then married actress Talula Riley, got divorced, got remarried, then divorced again, like restarting Windows to fix an issue. They just kept turning the relationship on and off. Because sending rockets to space and building electric cars wasn't enough, Elon teamed up with Sam Altman to co-found OpenAI, an initiative to ensure AI doesn't go rogue and overthrow us, and it stays open. When he was 45, Elon once again finalized a divorce with Talula Riley and dated Amber Heard briefly. Tabloids had a field day. Around this time, he also got addicted to Twitter and decided to buy the whole platform. That is some addiction. Tesla, rockets, AI, and now politics. Elon swings to the right, picking fights and sporting tinfoil hats. The only thing we know for sure about him, he will tweet about it. Now at 53, he gave a Nazi salute at a Trump inauguration celebration. He's raiding US government departments with his interns and shutting them down. Let's see where he goes from here.
George Soros and his organizations articulate a vision of the world where power is decentralized, governments are held accountable, and individuals, especially those from historically marginalized communities, are empowered to participate in democratic processes. His stated political goals are not only about opposing repressive regimes and policies, but also about actively constructing a global environment that values human rights, social justice, and the free flow of ideas. Elon Musk's stated political goals center on cutting federal waste and streamlining government operations to create a leaner and more efficient state, adopting conservative cultural and social policies, including tougher stances on immigration and opposition to what he terms woke ideologies, leveraging technology to modernize government processes, reflecting his broader belief that a tech-driven approach can reform public institutions, aligning political action with his business interests, ensuring that policy shifts benefit both his personal vision for governance and the economic success of his companies. Beyond conspiracies, the truth about Soros is this: he has dedicated a significant portion of his net worth to philanthropy. Through his Open Society foundations, he has donated more than $32 billion to various causes, including human rights, education, and press freedom. His extensive charitable giving has had a profound impact on his net worth. As of 2020, Forbes estimated his wealth at $8.3 billion, ranking him as the 162nd richest person in the world. What is undeniable, however, is that Mr. Soros' net worth would have been much higher had he not dedicated 60% of his fortune for philanthropic causes. When we talk about Elon Musk, we're not just talking about someone who has redefined political boundaries, but also significantly changed the political landscape. In the 2024 presidential election, he emerged as a pivotal figure. Musk was the largest individual donor of the 2024 election, contributing $277 million to support Donald Trump and allied Republicans. He also founded America PAC, a super PAC aimed at bolstering Trump's campaign, and Musk contributions making up 91% of the declared contributions as of December 2024. His active participation didn't stop there. Musk joined Trump on stage at a campaign rally, signaling his endorsement and leveraging his platform to amplify political messages. Following the election, Musk's political involvement deepened. He was appointed to lead the newly formed Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. In this role, Musk initiated aggressive campaigns to reduce US government spending by trillions of dollars, implementing rapid cost cutting measures and extensive layoffs across federal agencies. While these actions were welcomed by some in the tech industry, they also sparked significant controversy and resistance from lawmakers and unions. For many Americans, a leaner government might mean fewer bureaucratic delays and lower tax burdens, potentially spurring business growth and innovation. However, critics caution that drastic cuts and deregulation could jeopardize essential public services such as healthcare, social security, and education, disproportionately impacting vulnerable populations. Moreover, Musk's embrace of conservative cultural positions and his merging of business interests with public policy risk deepening social divides and eroding democratic accountability. In short, while his vision might offer economic dynamism for the elite, it also raises serious concerns about long-term welfare and equitable treatment of the average American. In short, the poor will get poorer and the rich will get richer. Time to buy some Tesla stock? Elon Musk is certainly a real-life Iron Man, but in a universe where he helps Thanos, or maybe he's just Dr. Doom.
You should have gone for the head.
Among all this chaos, how do we keep our sanity? Well, there are a few things that we can do. The first thing is to set boundaries. Designate specific times to check the news instead of constantly looking for news updates. Curate your sources. Stick to a few reliable, balanced news outlets or digest formats to reduce exposure to sensational content. Be aware that you're always in a bubble. Be aware of fear-mongering. Be aware of hateful hyperbole, as it's never that simple. Take breaks. Practice digital detoxes or set periods where you disconnect from news and devices. Practice self-care. Engage in mindfulness, exercise, or simply take a walk to alleviate the stress. Focus on control. This means focusing on local actionable issues rather than overwhelming global events. As always, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will be back soon with another episode to understand the chaos around us.